I'm just going to log out and I'm going to start from the very beginning. So once again, guys, please use this link, igniteinstitute.onshape. That's the path to get to the right place. If you go some other path, you'll be on an island. You won't be in our community. Okay, igniteinstitute.onshape.com. Click on sign in with Google. So you're going to use your same password and login you already have. This is what you use for Google apps and for boon.kyschools.us. Don't use Gmail, don't use Kenton, use the Boon address. If your password is already saved, then you'll automatically jump in there. It might ask you for your password if you didn't save it. Go to Documents. Remember, Documents is just a place to store things, so it's a container or a folder. And if you already had one, you could reopen one. I could, if you had some already, so Tim or Connor or Marty, or Kai, these all would show up and you could click on something and you could open an existing one. But for this one, we're going to create something new. So go to Create, upper left, blue box, Create a document. Again, a document's just a container where I can put stuff. I'm going to start a document. I'm going to call it First Go at Onshape. I just keep naming it something different each time, guys. First Go at Onshape. Comes up with a blank screen, but notice I've got that Ignite logo and my name. Remember, the tools are across the top. Hover to get a hints. Hover over. There's hole, shell, rib, patterns, mirror, right? Familiar stuff. Fillet, chamfer. Remember, your feature list, which is all the steps in the process, are over here. And down on the bottom are the parts and files that are in that document or in that container. View cube over here on the right helps you to orient things. First thing we're going to do for this lesson, sketch. Pick a sketch plane. I'm going to draw the front. Then I'm going to make that view normal to the page, so I'm looking straight on. So I'm going to click front. It's going to reorient it. I'm looking straight on that plane. I'm going to leave this alone for now because I don't want to click this until I'm done with sketching. But I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab a rectangle. Click on that. It's highlighted. I'm going to click somewhere in here, and I always like to start on the origin, but you could start up here if you wanted. A good practice is start on the origin. Click, hold it down, drag it, and drop. Click the left mouse button, hold down, drag to where you want it, drop. If you want, use the dimension tool and change the dimensions, but you don't have to. I don't need dimensions this time. After you have a rectangle, go grab a circle. Put your circle somewhere in the middle. Again, put the cursor where you want to start. Click and hold the left mouse button, clicking and holding, dragging the mouse anywhere I want, drag it in, drag it out, put it right in the middle somewhere, and then release that button, and there's your circle. So now I drew a rectangle and I drew a circle. Now I want to orient it again, so I'm going back up to my view cube. I'm going to click on that upper right corner that's isometric for me. Remember, the corners do isometrics. There's an isometric, there's an isometric. And then you have your principal views, which are your straight on, front, top, right side. And now I am going to do the extrusion. So I'm finished sketching. I like my sketch. I'm going to click on this. That finishes the sketch. I'm out of the sketching tool now. Now I can do my extrusion. Go grab the extrusion tool. You can play with these if you want later, but for right now, we're just going to make a new solid, a new part, and it's going to be solid. And I'm going to click on whatever face I want. I'll do that next. I want to make it blind. So that's just a fixed distance. Blind is just some dimension. It's not touching anything necessarily. I can change this if I want. I'll make it 2 for fun. So I got the depth as 2. Now's my chance to click on the region or the area that I want to extrude. If I just click on the circle, I'm only going to get a cylinder extruded out from there. Okay? That's not really what I wanted. So I'm just going to close that. What I really want is this area out here. So I'm going to click in this region here, and there's what I wanted. Okay, so I'm finished with my extrusion. I'm finished with what I wanted to do today. I can click the OK button. I can use that mouse, that roller button on my mouse, the roller wheel, the little roller wheel in the middle of the mouse, and I can zoom in and zoom out. Again, I could change the orientation of what I want, top, look at all the different sides, look at the bottom, you know, move it around, look around at it, right? And there also, you can use the mouse buttons for that too. I like this, so I'm showing you this first. We'll show it other things other days. But the view cube is very visual. I like it because I can see what's going on. Okay, you got that? Go down, grab your snipping tool, that scissors. Okay, pick new. And then I just want you to snip everything on Onshape page. So make sure you get your name, make sure you get the Ignite logo, make sure you get your object. Nope, I don't want to save it. You don't have to save anything, guys, because remember, you're working on the cloud, so everything is saved automatically. There's no save button that you save it. Now, later on, there are things that are called releases and versions. We'll talk about those another day. You don't have to save this. It will automatically save it, but we're not even going to keep today's lesson. I just want your screenshot, and we'll start again with a new one next time. So you don't need to save any of that. Here, you see all these little icons, right where I'm scrolling back and forth. That is your main toolbar, okay? All those little icons are your little tools. So you've got extrude, sweep, loft, revolve, fillet, chamfer, all those things that are very similar to Inventor that you had before, right? There's extrude, there is revolve and sweep and loft. Some of those you'll remember. You remember probably fillet. You probably remember chamfer. Okay, the other cool thing about this program, and honestly about most new programs that you come across, when they have little icons like this, they are thinking that they want to help you learn this program. So they will often put little hints for you so that you can learn the program. So here's one. I'm curious, what is this? I hover over. I just put my cursor on there and stop. I just leave my cursor on top of it and pause. And it pops up with a little window. It says chamfer. This is create beveled edges on selected edges or faces. Okay, select one or more edges or faces. 2, specify the width of the beveled edge. 3, specify whether to propagate the chamfer along tangent edges. Okay, it's giving you some hints, and all these have those. If I just hover over this one, you can see I'm going to get a hint. So a good place to learn about the toolbar is just by hovering over. So that's our toolbar, and this toolbar will change whether you're sketching or whether you're 3D modeling. So, and I'll show you that in a minute, but that changes. So that's your main toolbar. That's when you're going to pick the tools that you want to implement. Yeah. Next up, the next thing I want to show you is over on the left-hand side right here, this tall rectangle. Now, in Inventor, you probably call this the browser bar. They gave it a little bit different name in Onshape. We're going to call it the feature list. So if you look up here, see the word features? There are 4 features so far. This is what you start with. You have an origin, that's a little orange dot in the middle. There's the origin. You have a top, a front, and a right side plane, right? Drafting plane, drawing plane. Those planes are just like you saw in Inventor, okay? That's where we start. So this is what we have to start with. And just like Inventor, each step or each feature that you create, you start creating and doing extrude and a sketch and another extrude, and then maybe a hole and then a chamfer. Those will all populate over here on this left-hand side. So you'll have an organized step-by-step process of what you have done. And you can go back and forth in that list and you can edit things just like an Inventor. Okay, so that's the feature list. Okay, toolbar across the top, feature list on the left-hand side here. All right, down along the bottom are tabs. remember I talked about this being a document, and I said when it's a document in Onshape, document means a container or a folder, right? So down here you can see if I have parts, in Inventor that would have been a .prt, assemblies. I could put drawing files in here, and really I could put any kind of file in here that's related to my drawings or my models. So like, for example, in your YLP, you might have Inventor drawings, or you might have Onshape drawings for your YLP. But what if you want to collect some other stuff and put in there too? You can put in PDF files, you can put in charts, graphs, you can put in a Word document, anything that you can collect. Again, this is a container or a folder that holds all that stuff. So it's just a little bit different the way they organized it. Okay, so along the bottom is your tabs, and those are your different pieces or stuff. That's the different stuff that you have in this document. And again, I'll repeat this again. Document means folder, or document means container. Okay, so here's what's in my document. All right, click back on that. Over here, guys, is a really convenient, it's called the view cube. Okay, this is how you orient yourself in space. So you can see there's my there are my three planes: front, right, top, right, front, right, top. There's a little isometric cube that's kind of guiding me what I'm looking at. And if I ever want to look just at the front view, I'll show you that in a minute, but I can just click on front. If I want to go back to any isometric view, I can click on the corner. See how the little corner highlights to blue? It lights up. If I click on that, puts me back into my general isometric view, that regular isometric view, front, right, top, side, right? Now these arrows around the outside can make small increment moves. So if I want to just move a little bit to the pivot to the left, or if I want to just pivot a little bit to the right, each time I click it, it's going to pivot a little bit. Okay, I can go back, click that, go back to isometric. This kind of rolls it up and down over the top, or roll down over the bottom. Then I can roll left and right, right? So I've got a lot of commands here right in this little view cube. Very convenient to just tap on that and move yourself around, right? If I want to go back to my ISO, there I'm back again. And I could go to front, back to ISO, right, back to ISO, right? Get used to moving around on that. The one other thing you can do is with your mouse wheel, okay? With your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out just by rolling that mouse wheel back and forth. Okay, that should be enough to get you started. Guys, there are many other ways to move around. Your other mouse buttons will do things. There are a bunch of named views down here and other ways. You can do section views, you can do shaded, hidden, translucent, isometric, dimetric, zoom to fit, zoom the window. We'll talk about those another time. Okay, just getting the basics today. All right, so let's do a basic part. So I told you up here's the toolbar. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the toolbar. I'm going to pick sketch. You remember from Inventor how to sketch, right? I want to draw a two-dimensional drawing or two-dimensional sketch on a plane, and then that's going to allow me to extrude. So the first thing, as usual, you got to select a sketch plane. I really like drawing on the front when I'm starting something new. You can draw on the top plane, the right plane, but just remember it's going to orient it that way. And when you get really into CAD and you become a professional at it, maybe it becomes your job, you'll probably have a convention that you normally use. And if I start thinking about the way I want to do an assembly, I may just pick every part that I'm going to do from the front view as it would appear in the assembly in that front view. But it's up to you. Let's just pick front for now. That's a topic for another discussion. Let's do front. And I'm just going to, you can see that sketch popped up. Now don't click the green and white check mark box yet. That's for when I'm finished with the sketch. In Inventor, I think it actually said finish sketch. So we're going to leave that alone for now. We picked the sketch plane as the front, okay? So we're going to draw on the front. I'm going to rotate that so I'm looking straight on. That's called the normal view. So if I want to look at the front view normal, that's going to be straight on as if I were looking at a piece of paper, right? So there I am in my isometric. I'm on the front plane. I want that sketch. I'm just going to click it and it moves it to there. So now I can look at that 2D sketch. I want to draw something, right? You guys have probably done this many times. So I'll skip over the line. There's the line command, right? If I want to draw a line, click, hold it down, drag it, let go. That's a line. Undo. Undo button's up here. So if you ever get in trouble, you always can undo. So I'm going to draw another line, click, hold down, let go. Click, hold down, let go. Click, hold down, drag, let go. Right? You guys can do that part, I'm sure. You probably can even do the rectangle, but let's start with that. So there's two rectangles, corner to corner and center to corner. Let's just do corner to corner. I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on the origin. I always like drawing at the origin so that I'm basically centered. I know where my starting point is. Just like the line, I'm going to click with my left mouse button. I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to drag. Drag, 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 drag. When I get where I want to stop, I just let go of that left mouse button. And I should have a rectangle. That was a little glitch, wasn't it? Well, guys, there we go. Not sure why that did that. There's a rectangle. There's another rectangle. Something wasn't right. Okay. You guys can probably draw a too many. You guys can draw a rectangle. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Now, you guys don't worry about dimensions yet. I'm not concerned about dimensions. That's for another day. If you're curious, it's right up here. Dimension, click on it, click. You're gonna 1.5, you can change it. Right, I can change this one, 2. Right, I can make a rectangle, I can change it. You don't have to do that, but that's where it is if you want to. Okay. So there's my rectangle. Now, the other thing I want you to do just for today, I want you to draw a circle. So there's line, rectangle, circle. They're all up here together. You're just going to do the basic center point. So I'm going to pick a point somewhere in the middle. Right? I put my cursor down. That's actually telling me it's in the midpoint. That's kind of cool. See those little hidden lines? I'm going to click. I'm going to hold down that left mouse button. I'm going to drag till I get it where I want it, and then I'm going to let go. And there's my circle. And again, I could change the dimension if I wanted to. But I'm just going to leave that alone. That's all the sketching I want you to do for today. Now, remember that view cube up here? I want to see what's this look like. I want to see my sketch, so I'm going to click on this upper right-hand corner. That should put me back in the isometric view. There you go. So you remember a sketch is just a two-dimensional drawing that I'm going to use to extrude or cut or some other feature. And there I go. There's that front view, or the front plane is my sketch. So I'm finished with my sketch. Now I can go check the check. Okay, there's that green and white checkbox. I'm finished with my sketch. I'm going to say sketch is complete. Sketch 1 complete. Now I'm going to scroll in a little bit. So I'm using that wheel on my mouse. I zoomed in a little bit. Now here comes the extrusion part, remember? So I go up here, extrude is the first one. I'm going to click extrude. Now, just like Inventor, you're going to have opportunities to make surfaces. Here, if I pick new, that's going to be a new part. If I want to add to an existing part, I can click add. That's just going to add on to an existing part. Remove is if I want to make a cut instead of an extrusion. Intersect is if I want to pick some parts of something and something another. You guys know about this. I can go up to a face, up to a part, through all. I'm just going to leave it on blind for now. I just want to make a block of a specified thickness. So that's the depth. I'm going to make the depth 2 inches just to change it to something. This is all pretty familiar, guys. Maybe the words are just a little bit different. So it's going to be a 2-inch deep or 2-inch thick block. And now I have to go over here and I have to tell it what I actually wanted, what geometry. So I've got a sketch with a rectangle and a circle in it. But if I just click the circle, if I click inside of the circle, it's only going to extrude the circle part, right? That's not what I wanted. So I can just come up here and I can say, no, I want to delete that one. I don't want that. What I really want is all this other stuff. I want a block with a hole in it. So I'm just going to pick somewhere in this area, this region outside of the circle. Okay, I'm not clear outside. I'm just in between the circle and the rectangle. If I click this region, now that's what I wanted. It's extruded it, but it left the center part out. Okay, so this is as far as you need to draw for today. You're going to have a rectangle. Hang on, guys. I think you're chatting to me, and I can't see it, so I'm going to go to the old telephone here. I see Kane just joined us. Kane, I'll review this in a second for you.
I thought I was behind, but I figured because I couldn't figure out how to just get to the front, but I clicked the little dice and I got it to just where I found the front. But
okay.
I can't find what I like the way to draw up in the toolbar.
That's okay. Kai, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just real quickly finish right here, and then I'm going to go through the whole thing again. So if anyone wants to catch up. So
okay, thank you.
No problem. And I can't see the chat except I got my phone here now, and so the phone, I can read the chat on the phone. So guys, that's all I want you to draw for today. You're finished with your extrusion, so you can just click the check box there. I'm finished. That's all the farther you have to go today. But remember, look over here on this feature list. Right? Again, that was the browser bar in Inventor. The features list, so I've got the origin, the top, front, right there's my planes. But look, now there's the sketch, okay? And then there's the extrusion. So I've got both of these now on there. And if I went up and did a chamfer, you guys don't have to do this. If I put a chamfer on there and maybe put a radius over here, on this side, and check that. So see, now I have some more features on there. And if you look over there, there's the sketch, there's the extrusion, there's the chamfer, there's the fillet, and if I click on it, it highlights it. So there's that feature, there's that feature, there's the extrusion, right? And not only that, but if I want to edit something, say I want to edit that sketch from the beginning, if I right click and edit, and I just say, I wanted to have a bigger block. There we go. And I check. See, so very easy to edit. And it just comes out over here on that feature list. Okay, so let me undo that for a second and undo the fillet and the chamfer. Now, at this point, what I want you to do is I want you to grab your snipping tool, okay? And I want you to do a new snip. And I want you to make sure you grab the Ignite logo. I want to see the Ignite logo so I know you're in the right place. And also, I want you to grab your name. So you're basically going to get almost the whole screen there. You don't have to get the toolbar at the top. But I should be able to see the Ignite logo, your geometry, your part, and your name. And that will make me happy.